it's nice to get some of this. You know, I love California. I love living out there, but it's nice to come back east. You know, I'm originally from. Oh, this is a good town. I love it here. I had some. So far, I've been having some really good food. Nice restaurants, some great seafood. You can't get any better than that. And but it's nice to come and have some of this good East Coast energy. So thank you for having me here. You know, the Rhode Island accents. But anyway, it's great being here. And I really looked forward to coming here, so it's been very nice. I sound like I really don't know what to say, but and actually I don't. But anyway,
Do you want me to interject here? Is that my cue?
Yeah.
Okay.
Please.
So I'm going to ask the first question. This will give you guys a chance to get lined up for the thinking cap questions. So you guys all just saw a very small glimpse of Billie's 50+ years in Hollywood. But what a lot of people don't know is that he's not only an amazing actor, he's also an award-winning artist. So I'd like to start Q&As off with Billie telling a little bit to the audience about his artwork and how he got started. So Billie, share your...
I grew up, as I said, I grew up in New York City. And I went to a school called Music and Art High School. And from Music and Art High School, I went to, I got a scholarship to a school called the National Academy of Design for the Fine Arts, where I spent 2 years on the scholarship painting. And I thought I did something. But I spent 2 years at the Academy painting. I've been painting all my life, actually, and
Any information about Bingo Wong and Traveling All Stars?
Okay, well, by the way, you know, I'm doing Coke 45 again. But as far as the Bingo Long, who's gonna hit my pitch? That was a lot of fun. That was about obviously about the Negro Leagues back in the 1930s and 40s. But that was a lot of fun to do, because a lot of the guys that we worked with were actual ball players from that period. And interestingly enough, you know, there was that one scene where we were driving down the road and they were throwing the ball on the ground and having it bounce back. You know, today they would use CGI for that sort of thing, but these guys were actually doing that stuff. So it was pretty fascinating for me. And then we got, you know, I'm not from the South, so I don't know much about, I mean, particularly at that time, I didn't know very much about the South. We were down there in Georgia, and so it was interesting for me. First of all, I loved the experience in Georgia because of the red clay, because there was a wonderful writer and poet by the name of Gene Toomer. I remember as a kid reading stories about his impressions of the Georgia red clay and the frogs, the bullfrogs. And so anyway, I got a chance to experience that whole thing down there. But anyway, it was a formidable experience. I mean, I really enjoyed doing that movie. It's a fun movie.
It was a great cast too.
Oh yeah, it was a great cast. Yeah.
Right.
You're welcome.
Thank you, sir. Let's go on this side. What's your name and question, sweetheart?
My name is Cecilia. I'm in love with you.
Thank you.
And I just turned 50 years old. And I wanted to ask you, would you do one thing for me for my birthday? And that's that line that you said to the lady sings the blues. Do you want my hand?
You want my arm to fall off?
Was your birthday today?
It was November the 1st.
Well, happy birthday.
Can I shake your hand at least for my birthday? I just only turned 51.
once.
I'm not gonna bite you.
Of course.
Just be careful coming up on stage. Okay, this is the only person coming on stage today, by the way. No more birthdays. All right, we're gonna come over to this side.
Hi, my name is Jordan. Earlier in your career, you did a film called The Big Come Down.
Final.
The Final Come Down. Oh, the first one I have, they changed the title, not big, but Final Come Down. Do you think the message in that resonates today more than ever with all the divisions in the country?
Well, I don't know. I really don't remember that much about it. It was a long, long time ago. It's over, what, 45 years ago, I think. What was it? It's sort of revolutionary kind of a movie?
Yeah, you were a social leader in the ghettos, and
right.
everything kept getting worse and worse.
Well,
and it got more violent.
I guess it resonates. I don't know, things are not so bad now. Everybody thinks it's everybody needs to, I think, in my opinion, just relax and let things happen and see how things unfold. We tend to want everything to happen very quickly. And we're very fortunate in this country in many, many, many ways. We just don't sometimes, I think, really realize it. And I've traveled around the world a little bit, and I can tell you, this is the best bet town. In my opinion. All right, thank you.
Wait, yes. Yes. Your turn. Yeah, it's your turn.
Why did you lose the Millennium Falcon to Han Solo?
You asked why did he lose the Millennium Falcon to Han Solo?
Oh, because Han Solo, we were gambling and he won it from me. He's a good gambler. I'm a very bad gambler.
That just means that Lando's a bad gambler. Would you agree? No? Do you want another question?
He's wonderful.
What's your name? Just because I'm going to put you on the possible winning list. We've never been asked how bad Lando is as a gambler. That's a good question.
Alan J.
Alan J. Okay, we'll put you on here. We'll see if you win. Yes, sir.
Yes, my name is Derek, and when you did Bingo Wrong, did you guys have to do any kind of special training?
I really don't have any thoughts about it, but I understand he's a pretty formidable kid. I mean, he's done some really interesting things. I don't really know who he is, actually. But, no, I don't mean that in a negative way. Because I don't keep up with actors. I don't really like actors, to tell you the truth. But I wish him well.
Thank you. That was a good question.
He'll never be a Billie D. Williams.
If you don't like actors, how do you live with yourself?
It's very difficult. Difficile.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name's Maria. I was kind of curious with the new movies coming back and kind of going off of what you just said now about how you're kind of the only real Lando. Do you think there's a possibility of you coming back for the new movies to be in like a reoccurring character, especially considering what happened in the last movie? I don't want to spoil for anybody who hasn't seen it, but maybe
everybody knows Han Solo died. Get over it.
I was trying to be nice. Maybe like Chewbacca's new partner in crime, or?
I have no idea. I mean, there's nothing to say about it or report. Probably, though, Harrison probably was very happy to not do it anymore. He probably arranged for his death and that the character's dead. But anyway, I don't know. I have no idea. I don't think much about it, to tell you the truth.
I think you're right that he probably did do it because he wanted to die in Empire, and George wouldn't let him. Did you know that?
He told me that once.
Yeah, yeah. So here, let's do this. We started this campaign about 3 years ago at DragonCon. Everybody tweets in the room, right? Hello? Yes. Yeah. Hashtag bring back Lando. And then, yes, and then his Twitter account is @RealBDW. So the more people we get to do that, they haven't filmed number 9 yet, so let's get him in there. Right? Do you want to see him in the movie? Right? Am I over here or over here? Over there? Okay, go ahead.
My name is Seth. We saw, before you came up, a set of times that you reprised your role as Lando. How was it reprising your role in the Lego movie, and do you know if your character will be returning for any future forms of the Lego movie?
Well, yeah, I just finished doing the Lego thing, but that was for Batman, for Harvey Dent. No, I enjoy doing those, so they're always asking me to do those, so it's a lot of fun for me. You know, and Rebels, and in Marvel Comics, so it's all fun. Okay.
We need to update the reel because we need to get that Lego stuff on there. Here, I'll tell you guys a funny story. You know that Billie did the voice for Lando in the Lego movie as well as the Lego cartoons, the Yoda Chronicles, right? So what was funny was I didn't know he was in the movie, and my friends and I went to see the Lego movie. We were like, damn, it's Billie! So I was texting and I said, did you know you're in the Lego movie? And he went, I am? Because he didn't realize he was recording the lines for the film. He thought it was for the TV show. So it was pretty sweet. What's your name, buddy, and your question?
I'm Noah. My question is, what are your expectations for the new Star Wars movies to come?
I don't have any real expectations. I'm looking forward to this new one. I liked the last one that they did. It was very well done. I thought very entertaining. So this one that's coming up, I think, in December.
Yeah, Rhode 1.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's, like everybody else.
What about you? What's your expectations?
I think it's going to be great. I hope it's going to be great. If it's not good, then I'm still going to keep watching all the movies, but it's not going to be not good. It's going to be amazing.
That's exactly what they want you to do. Even if it sucks, keep giving them your money, buddy. Do you buy toys?
I'm 13 now.
How many 30-year-olds in the audience buy toys? Turn around, buddy, look. 30 plus? How many 60-year-olds buy toys? Okay, Noah, 3 people that are 60 buy toys. When you're 60, you can stop buying. I like you. I'm going to put you on the list, too. Noah doesn't buy toys. Okay, got it. Thanks.
Thanks, Noel.
Hi, my name is Reese. I was wondering, Lando wore a magnificent cape, and I was wondering if you could start a revolution to try and bring the cape back into fashion.
Not really. But for me, for that character, that was the key to my character. I thought, you know, when I first saw that cape, I thought, yeah, that's a real swashbuckling kind of character. And so that was sort of a pivotal part of creating that character for me, the cape.
I would imagine that some of your Rico Suave attitude had something to do with the character as well, not just the cape.
I'm a pretty suave guy.
You know, I think we have...
Sometimes.
I think we have a clip of you being extra suave. So why don't we take a look at that and we'll see.
I thank you for the compliment. Well, I don't know what to say about all that.
You're pretty. Sit down.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, Matthew Williams, no relation. Nickel Mom All-Star Show, you co-starred with James Earl Jones. 2 years later, you're cast in Empire Strikes Back. Did he, come and ask or talk with you about the ability to work in that film?
No, when he did it, he wasn't. We weren't working together or at the same time. So we all pieced together different times. Whatever the hell I'm trying to say here. But anyway, we never talked about it.
Okay, no influence. Okay.
No.
Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Vinny. So, what was your first reaction when you first got onto the set of Star Wars?
Well, I just thought it was really fascinating to see all that, the set and all of the Millennium Falcon and all the things that they used. Because, a lot of it, at that time, it was so CGI, so that you had an actual Millennium Falcon. So it was pretty fascinating, but it was also fascinating because I got a chance to see a lot of the kids who were involved with computers and who were behind the scenes. And so it was interesting from that perspective, from that point of view. To see, other people working on it outside of the actors, people who are on camera.
Yes, sir.
Jason, mine's like a two-part question. I was wondering, of all the work you've done, what would you say is your most favorite one part that you've ever played?
Well, I've done a lot of good, interesting characters, and one thing I'm always happy is that people remember the characters I've done. A lot of the characters I've done. I've sort of made my characters indelible. But I don't know, I've done so many characters, and I think I've done over 100 movies in my career, and I've been doing it for a long time. But some of the things I've done on stage, I really enjoyed. Like Martin Luther King, I played that, and on Broadway for a while. And there was one character, I played a jazz musician in a movie I did in Canada called Giant Steps. Nobody ever heard of it actually, but it didn't do anything. But it was one of my favorite characters that I played. I always wanted to play a jazz musician. I love jazz. So this was a good character. But anyway, I don't know.
My second part was, which project did you like the least?
I don't know. I have to think about it. I just do, I do the work, and I'm the kind of person I go to work, make my money, and go home. It's as simple as that, really. I don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. I just do it. I'm gone. I'm doing the next thing, whatever that is.
That's a good work ethic. We should all do that. I'm gonna go home now, thanks. Billie, tell everybody how you got into show business, and it's a cute little story.
Say what?
Tell everybody how you got into show business.
Oh, I got into show business. I was 6.5 years old. In a Broadway musical called The Five Brand Florence. It was, I don't know if anybody knows who Kurt Weill is. Kurt Weill wrote Three Penny Opera with Bertolt Brecht back in those years. And I was on stage with his wife, Lafayette. So I was, but how I got on, my mother got me into show business. She had me audition, and they had me walk across stage one time, and I did it 2 times. And then they said, "Thank you, Billie, that's very nice." And I wanted to do it the 3rd time. So they said, no, that's okay, you don't need to do that anymore. I started crying. And so I always say I cried my way into show business.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Victor. Who are some of your favorite filmmakers or directors that you've worked with over the years?
Well, working with Calrissian certainly was a high moment in my life. He was a wonderful man, one of the most creative directors in the industry has ever produced. Buzz Kulick, when I did Brian's song, was a really wonderful director. Tony Richardson.
Work every time?
Yes, it works every time. Don't let the smooth taste fool you.
Yes.
Hi, my name is Austin. From your entire artistic acting, be it in film or on Broadway, all of your careers as an artist or actor, what would you say you would want your legacy to be? Not necessarily what was most successful, but if you could choose something to become what you are remembered for, what would you want it to be?
You know, the one thing I pride myself on is that I think, as I said earlier, I've managed to make my characters memorable, and and that's because when I approach any situation, even with my painting, I don't limit myself to some idea of what people think I should be. I sort of leave it open from I try to create my own point of view, and I try to really stay away from politicizing anything that I do. I've led a very eclectic life, so that's how I seem to want to approach everything in my life in a way that doesn't limit me to some idea that somebody thinks I should be. I'm always looking to create my own point of view, well, I always say it's like I want to create my own unique approach, point of view. Like each one of us, as individuals, have something unique to present or to offer, and so that's how I tend to go about my creative life.
So you want to be remembered as Billie D. Williams, then?
Right. And Billie D., for me, I've always approached it as myself as a brand. I think that you get more longevity that way. I mean, to me, it's one thing to be number one, but number one comes and goes, but to be first is historical.
Excellent question. Do we have one over here? Hi.
I'm Tolly. I'm 13 and I do buy toys. A lot of them. I spend a lot of my money on them. So my question is, so you portrayed Lando in Rebels, as Angela mentioned. It was a little part of my question. Do you know if Lando is going to come back in Rebels?
I know if he's going to come back? Yeah, I would imagine so, yeah.
Yeah, because we saw the Millennium Falcon in it.
Hmm?
The Millennium Falcon's going to be in it. Actually, tonight, I think. Yeah.
Right.
So, are we going to see Lando getting the Millennium Falcon from these kids?
I don't know. Depends on the writers.
You'll have to tune in and watch.
I already do.
Hi. Do you buy toys?
Yes.
Oh, good.
I'm Max, and how did Robot Chicken get in touch with you so you did that cameo for the Star Wars episode?
Well, they always call me up to do these little things, so I'm always willing to do it, especially when it comes to animation and stuff of that nature. You just call me up and ask me to do it. And I guess everybody sort of, the whole Lando Calrissian experience has become so much a part of me that I get a lot of people asking me to to replicate or do things like that.
And you like working with Seth Green a lot, you said?
Yeah, Seth Green he's a nice kid. I really like him. And, he's like one of my sons.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, my name is Tina Rivera, and I have a quick question. My friends and I have this theory that you could come back to the Star Wars and actually be Finn's father. Would that be true?
Finn's father? No.
It's just a theory.
Hi, my name is Tyler. This is Brian, and this is Natalie. I really don't have a question, but my brother does.
You should take him everywhere you go, man.
Hi, we're all very big fans of Star Wars and Batman, and so I was wondering, like, you played Harvey Dent, but you never got to Two-Face. Like,
Yeah, well, I think Sony bought the rights to that Batman at the time, and they decided to take a different direction.
thank you.
Hi, yes, we have 5 minutes to go. Excellent.
Hi, my name is Andrea, and I do drink Colt 45. My question for you was, with your movies and roles being so versatile, what is your favorite type of genre to perform in?
Genre?
Yes. Do you Broadway, comedy, drama?
Well, all of it. I enjoy doing stage. I spent a lot of time doing stage. Film, I love film, television.
And you're great in everything that you do.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yes. Hi, sweetheart.
Hi, I'm Alex. My question is, have you ever considered shaving your mustache, but then decided against it because it would ruin your image?
I've really shaved my mustache up many times.
Yeah, you have, yeah. But it is such a part of you, it's hard, yeah, you have.
It's not always I get bored looking at myself sometimes.
I am so Googling Billy D with no mustache. I'm blanking on what it looks like. Do you think he would still be as good looking?
Probably. Yes.
Probably, yeah. Sweet. Thank you.
My name is Sean. My question is, what was your reaction when, spoiler alert, Luke found out Darth Vader was his father?
I don't know. I don't remember really having a particular reaction. I like everybody, I guess. It was interesting, fun, and it was cool.
What was your reaction?
Well, I found out before I saw the movies, so yeah, that was impressive.
Man, how old are you?
I'm 15.
Have you seen them all now?
Yes.
Okay, so you know that Yoda is actually Luke's father and not Darth Vader.
No, I did not know that.
You need to see the extra edition special cut that Disney released last week.
Does that actually exist?
Go find out. And then call us and let us know how it was. 555. Yes, sir.
Hi. Contrary, unlike most people at this convention, I have seen a mustacheless Billie D. Williams. There was a film in 1959 that you did, The Last Angry Man, I think it was.
Right, yes.
With Paul Mooney, Godfrey Cambridge, and David Wayne.
And Luther Adler.
Yes, Luther Adler. I know Paul Mooney was a very huge on the New York stage. I was wondering, how did you? I know you had a pretty big part in that film. So what was it like working on that film so early in your career and getting to meet a legend, several legends. Now, Luther Adler.
Well, I was only about 20 years old at the time, and it was a very big moment in my life. It was my very first movie, and certainly working with people of that caliber, like Muni. Muni was a really wonderful, crazy man, wild man. And that was his last movie, and that was my first movie before he passed away. But he simply, in case anybody that, he was the first Scarface on the screen. He also played Louis Pasteur and played Emile Zola. But he was certainly one of the really, truly great actors. A wonderful human being. But that was a very special time for me. But I never really auditioned for that, actually. The way I auditioned was that the director called me in over at Columbia Pictures, and we sat in this big room, this conference room, and we just sat and talked. And he just said to me, I want you to play Josh Quincy. So that's how I got that job. I don't like auditioning, so it's great.
Great question. I think we have time for one more question. So we're going to have it over here, so I'll ask you guys to sit down. I am sorry, but you don't have to be shy. If you didn't get your question answered, you can come down to the autograph area. There's no pressure to buy anything, and you can ask your question there, and Billy will be more than happy to answer it. So the pressure is on, young lady. You have the last question of the day.
Thank you. It's actually a two-part question. One for my husband, one for me. One for my husband was, and my name is Marie, by the way. One for my husband was, he's a big football fan, big Bears fan, and it was very impressive that we're going to be seeing you today because of the Gale Sayers and Brian song. Did you get to meet Gale Sayers, and did you spend a lot of time with him knowing that you were going to be playing?
Yeah, we've become good friends. But I didn't have to spend a lot of time with Gail. I feel that that whole situation was an act of love. That's how I described that experience. It was meant to be. But I used to spend a lot of time observing Gail, trying to pick up idiosyncrasies and stuff like that. And he would always watch me to see what I was doing with his character. And so we always had this kind of furtive kind of, I didn't want him to see me looking at him, and he didn't want me to see him looking at me. It was almost like that. But we were always observing each other. And, I always felt like I really didn't need, because we were so much alike, very people who are very sort of introspective. I was at that time in my life much more introspective than I am now. I'm a little bit more open. But so I really kind of understood a lot about his character. So it was, but that whole, as I said, that whole experience was really a very special moment in my life.
So at the end of the day, would you say he was pleased with your performance?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Perfect. Thank you. So, Alan J., are you still here? You are. Excellent. Is that your dad? Hey, I'm going to give you the mustache, the disguise kit, because your question was awesome. So I need Dad to bring you down to Billy's signing area. You don't have to wait in line. Just go through the VIP section, wave at me if the red shirts try to give you a hard time, and we're going to give that to you. So thanks for your question, Alan. Thanks to the tech guys. You were amazing. Rhode Island Comic Con. Thanks for having us. Make them feel the love.